So as part of this section, we are going to discuss about models. So what is a model? So in JavaScript, model refers to the piece of code that is independent and reusable. So you can write all the code that you wanted and you can export only the code that should be accessed by the other parts of your code. So let us create a file, new file, and I am going to save it as customer.js. So here I am going to create a function constructor of customer. Function, I use name customer, and params I am going to receive name comma age, and here let us define this dot name and this dot age, and here I am going to define two functions that returns the name and age. So function get name, and it is going to receive customer and return. Let us use the ES6 backtick syntax. Customer name is, and we know we need to use the dollar symbol, and then cust.name, and same way just copy and paste it. Customer is age, then old. So now we have the customer function constructor array class, and we have two methods, get name and get age. So if you would like other parts of code should access your customer and get name get age functions, then you should export them. So you can use export default customer. So by default it will export the customer. And now how to export the functions, and you can use the default for only one object, like whether it is function or like this, export default and get age. So you can't do like this because you can have only one default. So now let's remove this, and to export functions you can use the curly brackets like this, name comma get age. So like this you can export. Now we exported customer class and get name get age functions also. So now we exported our code, and in order to use this code in other module or another file, you must import it. So for that, let us go to app.js, and here I am going to import. So usually this import statement should be at the top of the file. So since we already commented entered the code, this is top of our file. So import, and here I am going to use customer. You can see as soon as I type customer, it gives the syntax like this. So from customer, and you need to use the .js. So the customer from customer.js. Let's save it. You get the error like cannot use import statement outside a module. So in order to use this customer in the app.js, so you need to mention the type module for the app.js. So go to the index.html, and here just mention type module, and now you see you don't see any error. Go to the app.js. Now we got the customer, so we exported it by default. So now here just create a customer objects equal to new customer, and let us pass the name John comma 30, and now let us call the functions. So we have the functions, right? So now we just created the object of the customer, but now if you want to call this get name and get age, we need to import them also. So how to import? So to import the non-default objects, you need to use the brackets like this, and here you need to mention get name comma get age, and here you need to use the comma. Yeah, so now you can call this get name and get age. So just use console.log and get name of, I am passing cust, and if you save it, now you can see that customer name is John, and same way you can call the get age to get age. So this is how it works, and here we exported customer default, right? So you don't need to use the full name, you can use the alias name also. Just you can mention C, and you can use the same thing here, and it works perfectly. So you can use the alias names for these exported values, like get name, right? You can use get name as gn and get age as ga. So let's say now we can use gn and ga, and if you save it, you can see the same result. And everything in the model is private by default, and it follows the strict mode. You know, it use the use strict keyword. So you can make use of this model concept to write the utility classes or some calculation classes. So also you can reduce the loading time of the files. So hope you liked it, and this is about models. In our next section we are going to discuss about classes.